Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today I'm taking a closer look at and installing J&L's 3.0 passenger side oil separator, shown here in satin silver, available for your 2024 and newer GT and Dark Horse Mustang. Now you guys should be checking out the passenger side J&L for your S650 if you're looking to help capture the oily vapors produced during combustion from being reintroduced back into your intake manifold and just dirtying up your Coyote in the process. Construction with the J&L here is going to consist of the American-made billet aluminum canister, in this case in a clear or satin anodized finish. You are getting dual stage filtration up top along with factory style hoses and fittings, all for right around that high $100 price point. So if you guys didn't know, your Mustang has what is called a PCV system, and that is short for positive crankcase ventilation. Now the purpose of this system is to help regulate and remove fumes produced during combustion from the engine crankcase and to alleviate crankcase pressure, which if you didn't would otherwise cause things like oil leaks or seal damage. Now because laws do mandate that the PCV system has to be sealed, the engine does utilize vacuum to basically draw these vapors out of your crankcase and then plumb them back into your intake tract where they are to be burned off during the combustion cycle. And while this all sounds good in theory, a lot of times these oily, greasy vapors end up leaving residue not only on the intake manifold itself, but also on the backside of your intake valves, which can lead to coking or deposits over the years, in addition to other nasty things like even diluted fuel quality to some extreme cases. So how does this little guy help prevent all of that? Well, those oily vapors are basically going to pass through your car's PCV system into the J&L separator that we have here. Now at that point, the solids present in these vapors, basically the little microscopic particles of oil and unburnt fuel or whatever else, condensation, do get caught in that dual stage filter up top. Again, that honeycomb and stainless steel mesh material that collects up top before dropping down into the canister down here below, while at the same time allowing fresh, clean air to pass through the PCV system without affecting any functionality. Now, another feature I do like to point out with the J&L is that it's completely plug and play. As you see, we do have the factory style hoses in addition to the connectors installed already for you. Right out of the box, it's going to make for a very simple install, as we'll show you here in a little bit. But moving into construction, and again, you are looking at a pretty simple billet aluminum canister, a 3-ounce capacity in that canister, hence the 3.0 in the name. And also guys, just a quick heads up, if you weren't a big fan of the anodized or satin silver finish, maybe you wanted something a little bit more stealthy under the hood, J&L offers the same kit but with a black canister instead. Now the kit has been made right here in the USA, love pointing that out, and again does include things like the factory length hoses in addition to the factory style fittings here, and they even kick in a nice little etched mounting bracket with the J&L logo, which does make for a very easy and clean install, I will say that. Quick heads up here also guys, J&L does recommend checking and ultimately emptying the contents of the canister every 1,000 miles or so, just to be on the safe side. Price point for the J&L will live right around that high $100 or $200 ballpark, give or take, which does make this slightly more affordable when comparing this to some of your other options on the site from companies like UPR, for instance, which also make some very nice stuff, but they are a bit more money at the end of the day. All right, to wrap things up here, guys, we're gonna move into the installation portion of today's video. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, thanks to things like the factory style connectors, this is gonna be a very simple plug and play job for you. So therefore expect a soft 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Site calls it about 20 minutes to get in place from start to finish, which is pretty accurate to me. Now to give you a better idea of just how everything will go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this project are a ratchet, a short extension, a deep 10mm socket, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Hi everyone, today we're installing an oil separator on our Mustang, so let's get started with the uninstall first. So the first thing we're going to need to do is remove our engine cover. Once we've got the engine cover removed, then we're going to go ahead and remove the PCV line from the passenger side, and though while not a requirement, we are going to remove the driver's side line as well, just to give us a little bit more room when we're installing the new oil separator. Now to remove our engine cover, we're just going to lift up on the front and then lift up on the 2 tabs in the back to remove the ball stud. To remove our passenger side PCV hose, which is right here in front, there's a gray tab down here at the bottom of the fitting. You're just going to push that away from the fitting and lift up on it. Do the same thing for the other end. Push away on the gray tab and lift it up. Then you can go ahead and just slide the hose out. And we'll do the same thing for the driver's side, which goes to our air tube and the valve covers. We'll just push away on the blue tab at the bottom and slide it out. All right, first thing we want to do before our install is go ahead and attach our mounting bracket to the top of our oil separator. Now you'll notice that both of them have logos, so you want those to match up in order to make this mount properly. So we'll go ahead and slip that over the top, line up the holes, and then using the supplied screws, we'll go ahead and get those inserted into the top of the oil separator cap. And we'll tighten them down with a Phillips screwdriver. And then we can go ahead and feed our lines through. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and feed our hose, our longer hose, underneath this heater hose here and underneath this vacuum hose here, all the way to the other side. And then we'll take our short hose, feed it under this solenoid, around this tree here, and then plug it in right there. Push that down until it clicks into place. Give it a little tug, make sure it's secure. All right, now we can go ahead and mount our oil separator to the stud right behind the cap on our coolant reservoir tank. We'll remove the stud with our 10mm socket. Place our mounting bracket in place and put our stud back in. And now we go ahead and replace our driver's side hose, and we're going to slip that through the short and the long hose that we just installed on our separator and snap it into place. And now finally we'll replace our engine cover. Just press our ball studs into place, adjust our hose, and our installation is complete. And that wraps up our review and install of the J&L 3.0 oil separator with the clear satin anodized finish for the passenger side on your 24 Mustang GT and Dark Horse. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.